Hello, you're watching World Talks. My name is Sasha Farbach. Poland's government has announced a significant cabinet reshuffle introduced by Prime Minister Donald Tusk after a period of internal tensions and coalition strain. Now, the changes are designed to streamline the cabinet and refocus priorities, particularly in key areas such as education, as the administration looks to regain political momentum and reinforce stability. Now, to discuss the goals behind the reshuffle and what it could mean for the future of Polish policy, we're joined in the studio by Marcin Józefaciuk, a member of Parliament for the Civic Platform. Good to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
So let's begin. I will ask you about the timing of all this and the reasoning. Just walk us through a little bit about these last 24 hours and this particular announcement and some of your first takeaways from this reshuffle.
We need to remember that now we are at a different point than we used to be like 1.5 years ago. Now we have the new president, and the cabinet has to be ready for the new president. The position of the prime minister has to be strengthened. And so that's why Minister Sikorski became the deputy prime minister. But we also need to take care of minimizing disputes between the president and the government. Mm-hmm. So that's why, in order to minimize all the quarrels, also inside the governing coalition, there had to be the reshuffling of the cabinet.
Because indeed, there will be that rather, let's say, challenging cohabitation of a president from a different party with a coalition also of different parties. So this is, I think, going to be a bit of a challenge moving ahead in the next few months.
I would say everybody would focus on the welfare of Polish people and Polish citizens. So that's why there shouldn't be lots of disputes as far as the major points are concerned. And that's why there are like 3 pillars of governing Poland, which is the order, safety and the future. Mm-hmm. When I talk about the order, I mean also institutional order, but also division of competences. Mm-hmm. When we talk about safety, we talk about the war on the border, but also healthcare system as well as energy and power system. When we talk about the future, there is the investments, education concerned.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you mentioned there, Marcin, a few keywords, and let's just look at some of these new faces, some of these consolidations. We have, for instance, as you already mentioned, the foreign minister is now deputy prime minister of Sikorski. Then also tell us a bit more about health, justice and culture, some of these names and new personalities. What do they indicate here for us?
But generally, they're professionals. When we talk about Minister Sikorski, he's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the President also is responsible for foreign affairs, so that's why the cohabitation has to be really close. When we talk about the Minister of Justice, well, I'm looking forward to cooperating with him as far as alimentation and parental alienation is concerned, to be honest. When we talk about culture and when we talk about health system, they are professionals, they are not politicians. And that's what really matters. They have the trust of the people inside.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Trust on the people inside. Also, looking at some of these new consolidated ministries as well, I think this is also interesting. What's behind that of consolidation? I think in particular it's the post run now by Mr. Domański, economy and industry, that's going to be fusing. So why that fusion now?
There used to be, I think, too many disputes, and the division of competences was simply too big. So that's why it was minimized in order to talk better, to work together, to cooperate rather than to be individual ministries.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So also new faces around, but looking also at some that have remained in their posts. Some ministers have, including education. I think that's your area. So tell us why Józefaciuk has remained here, and what does that signal for education continuity policy?
Well, we need to remember that Minister Nowacka has some really good successes, like, for example, the pay rise of teachers pay by 30%, but also the bill on students' rights ombudsman. So that's very important. But she had also lots of failures, such as, for example, religion and the constitutional tribe dispute. When we talk about the chaos concerning with homeworks, but she has the vision. There is the reform going on in Poland. I mean, educational reform, gigantic reform, and she started it. So it would be really something not good, not beneficial for educational system to change the minister right now. So somebody who has the vision, who started the reform, to change into somebody new who has to just get into the system.
Okay, but also looking at some other key, this is not necessarily a direct minister, but Maciej Berek, who's going to apparently play a key role in the government. So tell us a little about his background and why he's so significant in all this.
Well, generally, this ministry, there was a cut down by 6 ministries. So there used to be 26 ministries. Now there are 21, but there is this one extra ministry of supervision, and his job is one of the most important because he's going to be like he's going to consolidate all the work of all the ministries, and he's going to supervise whether their regulation system is going on in a correct way. He's going to supervise all the ministers, and he's going to give his opinion about the change of some ministers or deputy ministers to the Prime Minister. So he's going to be like the right hand of the Prime Minister.
Okay, you mentioned also many of these are professionals. That's one of the main things that's sticking out here in your mind. But also looking at, let's say, any kinds of tensions. I mean, this is a reshuffle. I mean, there's coalition parties to play. Tell us about this process. Does this mean now this coalition is on sure footing, moving ahead? All the qualms have been removed, or how's the mood within these different parties that are running the government?
I don't feel any tension right now, to be honest. There is like a new, I wouldn't say a new play or a new game, but there is a new opening right now. Everybody has agreed on the vision of the government, and so now it is all up to the ministers, up to the ruling parties in the ruling coalition to sustain government, to sustain governing of the country. So I feel there is less tension right now because it has been retalked, renewed.
You mentioned also earlier these 3 main points that are really key for Poland. So now moving ahead in these next months, where can we see most of that develop? Give us some tangibles that you're going to see moving forward. I mean, is it more on the external borders, on safety? Is it going to be on educational policies? Where are going to be those key priorities right now, tangibly, for this government?
For sure, the regulation system, so the help for entrepreneurs. For sure, educational system, because the new school year is coming very soon. But also, what is very important is fighting with disinformation about the migrants and the migrant crisis. So that's what is the most important thing right now within like a few weeks.
Okay. And also, I mean, I want to ask also your opinion on where you see, let's say, the most interesting potential as well. I mean, of course, education, that's your background as well. But which areas are you looking at new ministries or new faces? Where do you get like a good feeling looking into policy heading forward?
Well, for sure, I am waiting for education because there is a lot of things which are going on. And so we are changing educational system and we are helping the teachers. But also what I'm looking for really thoroughly is safety of people as far as healthcare system is concerned, because I don't know much about the new Minister of Health. And so because I'm really concerned with men healthcare, that's where I'm looking for as far as cooperation is concerned. So the men healthcare system has to be looked over.
Okay. I'm also curious about one of those big, I think, announcements was replacing Adam Bodnar as Justice Minister, right? We have now a new Justice Minister, Waldemar Żurek. I mean, in terms of what he can achieve, I mean, he's got a big task ahead of him, a challenging task. What do you think of his future now in terms of achieving what his predecessor may have tried to do? What's his competence here? He's a judge himself. What can we expect from him?
He's a judge. Well, of course, I am happy with what the opposition is doing because they are attacking the new minister. Well, he's going to be the minister today, but they are attacking him. They are afraid of him, and this is a good starting point, because the Minister of Justice shouldn't be somebody who is not been not afraid of. Yeah, he's a really good professional. He's respected within inside among the judges. So he's not a politician, which is very important. And I think he's going just to continue what Minister Bodnar started, but he's going to add some new competencies inside the ministry.
Okay. Now, I know we've closed that already. It's that whole Poland leading in the European Union as the European Council. I know we closed that chapter now. But looking at also the dynamic with Europe, this government now reshuffled, as you said, some new faces in there. What can we expect also with the relationship with Brussels and Warsaw now?
And I think the new opening will also show Brussels that we are strong. We are a strong country. We are changing. We are adjusting to a new future. And because of the talks, because of our presidency, which has closed, we are the country who is going to cooperate, and the country who is not going to be like on the second level. We are the country who is going still to lead. And
what's your, just closing now, what's your, let's say, one enduring message now after seeing this new reshuffle for Polish citizens, for those abroad watching now? What is the takeaway from this new reshuffle of the cabinet?
I would say this is a new opening, but because there are not a lot of new faces, it's also the old opening. So it shows that the first impressions of the Prime Minister were good. So like 1.5 years ago, he created his cabinet, and now the core of the cabinet still remains the same. So it means that there is a vision, and the vision is being fulfilled.
All right, so we'll see if that vision will continue to be fulfilled. Of course, we'll be watching closely and critiquing closely. Thank you so much. That was Marcin Józefaciuk, Polish MP, Civic Platform. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you a lot.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay tuned. Much more coming up right here on TVP World. Goodbye.